Hi, beautiful people. It is 12 o'clock here, Pacific Standard Time, and I just wanted to come by real quick before I went to bed. There's been a lot that's been going on online, and it gets crazy. But I had an interesting day. I told you guys that I was going to talk to some of the counselors at the college that I'm getting ready to go to. And yeah, I'm about to do a lot of stuff. So once all that starts and I start working again, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to try to come up with a schedule. I have to try to come up with some kind of schedule, but I am definitely embarking on a new journey. Um, so that's kind of crazy. So I it is what it is. But how you doing, Juanita? Hey, you home? Very hey. Oh, look at your emoji. Hey, MU. You're home. Yay. Glad to see you. You look good, lady. Thank you, Juanita. Thank you. I feel good, girl. I feel good. So, uh, I can tell you guys my major. I'm finishing up my degree in psychology. I have already started it, but I started it years ago, and then I got lost in addiction and I never finished it. So now that I finished these other classes, so to speak, I'm going back to finish that. So I'd speak to the counselors and I'm trying to work out a schedule where it's at night and I'm still not taking the time away from my son and stuff like that. So all of this balancing thing, the balancing time management and stuff like that is just new. So I'm working on things like that. All right. And I'm trying to just get better at blogging so I can really capture this recovery thing. I'm telling you, the more I get online, the more and more I want to go back to that. So, regardless if hopefully you guys will still support my journey, but I just feel like the more that I'm learning, the more that I want to give back. And those are the things that's on my heart. So, I will still touch bases on stuff that's happening in the sectors, but I definitely, definitely, definitely want to dive into conversations about marijuana, alcohol, shit like that. Stuff that I'm learning. So, what else was I gonna say? Okay, so some of this stuff I put this way. I was helping my son with his math homework, and let me tell you something. I couldn't do this if I wasn't sober. It took me a while to kind of remember, and this is like fifth grade math. It shouldn't be that difficult, but some of these algebraic, is that how you say the word? Formulas and things like that, I had trouble remembering, but I have fun doing the math homework. Anyways, let me get some commentary real quick before I go to bed. This doxing shit, I've been watching it more, and you know what? Uh, I think nobody likes it when it happens to them. It's entertaining when it happens to other people, but once you're in the middle of it, people don't like it. And I want nothing to do with it. I'm just on the outside looking in. But I did notice that a certain person, and I had spoken about this earlier, had put there's only one person that knows Don Cato's address to throw it in the chat. You know what? Throw my address in a chat. And I'm like, for what? That person isn't getting any shine from me. I think that as I've been working on myself and growing, some people have stayed in the same spot because when you try to better yourself, there's always going to be people that try to hold you back, try to start some mess and some chaos. And let me tell you something from this point forward, if the internet is not fun, if being online isn't fun, I just turn this shit off. I'm not worried about that. There has been so many obstacles being online, trying to just share with you guys, trying to show you guys what is it like to recover. I believe in recovering out loud and stuff like that, but there's been like a lot of nonsense that I've been through, and I'm just not willing to go through that shit anymore. I'm just not for anybody. My peace, my sanity isn't worth it. I'm so sufficient. I take care of myself and my bills and all that shit. I don't need to come online and do things for a click and a view. I don't need that kind of shit. So I'm thinking like all these people that have wanted to cause harm my way from the time that I've started trying to get sober to almost 2 years ago. It hasn't been 2 years yet. To this point, they're still stuck. They're stuck in my past, stuck in their own, and there hasn't been any growth. I'll be down. I'm looking at myself 2 years ago, and I'm not saying it's like, oh, look at me, look at me. I'm grateful. I'll forever be grateful, but I'm not stuck. I'm not stagnant. When you stay stuck in one spot, you're stale, and you don't like to see anybody progress because I'm thinking, why in the hell somebody I don't even know this person is doxing people. and whatever's going on with the beef sector and stuff like that. I don't know that person, but I do know the person that put my address up in that chat, and I'm like, people online are miserable and they want everybody else to be miserable. Not everybody, but you could definitely tell the ones. And I, what do you do when you don't want to you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just watching all of it, and I think that there's a bunch of people that stuck. I think that FOMO, fear of missing out, is becoming more prevalent, and people are competing with others that's online, not realizing that their real life isn't quite what they say that it is. All right, so you got a bunch of people fighting over, there's like the silliest fights going on right now. Whether people are paying for shit with food stamps, who cares? Those are just my opinions. And I also I also think that a lot of people, I mean, when you fight, well, those are my thoughts anyways. Hey 504 girl, you look good, boo. Embrace the healing. I'm embracing it. Hi DJV. So those are just my thoughts, you guys. And I'm just speaking randomly. I came out late intentionally. Lately. I'm just giving y'all my thoughts. So y'all not really consider B sector. That's crazy. They put Sean name in it. It's just what happened, Juanita? Sean's name? Sean Bradley? Which I didn't really, what am I missing? I'm not sure what you mean by there. What's good, 504? She's always up late. Hey, Crack Smoke. So I don't know. And I don't know how much of that stuff. Oh, you're talking about the doxing. They put Sean Bradley's name in it. I don't know. I don't watch it, but I got the screenshots of, and some of the people that's over there. I'm like, I thought y'all were friends of the beef sector and shit like that. But I'm on the outside looking in. Somebody just sent me a screenshot asking if this was my address and Don Cato's address, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know who that person is. The obsessed demon, always trying to, knowing good and that. Well, I never spoke about that person in my life. Okay. But I'm not gonna worry about that because I got other shit going on. And yeah. When I first came to the beef, well, before you guys even knew of me, I would watch people. I really didn't pay attention to what sector they were in, but the roasting and the gagging and the skits and stuff like that, I really enjoyed in the beefing sector. The other stuff now with the CPS call, trying to get people fired. Hey, Burn Dog, trying to get people fired. Hey, True Meaning, and all that stuff. I don't enjoy it. I do not enjoy seeing us tear each other down. That's the guys out of the truth. I don't like seeing these relationships fall apart. I don't like any of it. That shit don't feel good. I feel like, you know what? These relationships are just so frivolous, fake. Everything is just for a show. And that's just that it's just it is what it is. I think that things have definitely changed now. It's normal for things to change. All right. I can tell you some changes that I do like that I've seen. This Avatar Nation, I think it's kind of cool. I understand why some people don't cam up. I don't think it has anything to do with what people look like for the most part. I know that people like to say if you don't come up, you ugly or some shit. I don't believe that. I think that, like, take Pizarro for example, right? She doesn't come up. She lies about her birthday and all that stuff. Imagine, I mean, when you're trying to protect your family and stuff like that, like if I would have known what I know, if I would have known what I know now, I would have taken more precautions. But when I got online, I didn't think about anything like that. You know what I mean? So I do understand some people not camming up, and so that part of the B sector, because when I first started watching, everybody cammed up. They did, and that's different now. And I think that's a healthy change. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. But the attacking kids and things like that, I can never be down with stuff like that. All right. I'm just sitting in my corner. I'm just sitting in the corner just watching. That's all you could do. That's all you can really do. and I haven't watched it, but I've seen enough of it to know what's going on. But I've been out and about all day. Right, Renita. Identity protection. YouTube tells us all the time to protect your identity on this app. And that's what you gotta do. So when I move and stuff like that, I'll be a lot because I'll feel better, in a place, in a different place. But I will miss my home. Um, but I mean, I've been doxxed a lot already. So it is what it is. I pretty much share everything with you guys, especially. And it takes a collagen water this late. So anyway, I'm not as invested in other people's life. I'm invested in my own life, and I don't want to know, you know, your private stuff. I was talking about pizza. Oh, right, Renita. I know. I there's just things that I don't want to know. I think that sometimes we're overly invested in other people's life, and I'm too busy living my own life trying to figure out my own self and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that is that. And when I was talking about, y'all, I know this is off subject. I shouldn't even bring it up, but I was in D Cup's chat earlier, and who I don't think I have ever seen her go off, and she was big mad. Sorry, well, not I wouldn't say big mad, but anyways, I was just saying I did catch a few streams. I hardly ever catch her live. I was watching a little bit of her, and who else? Let's see. I made my way over to the Black sector, caught Buddy Lee's live stream. Not all of it, part of it, but he was talking about the situation with Rob and Janet and showing that clip. And every time I see that clip, I'm like, damn. I'm just gonna say, I thank God that I'm sober. You know what I mean? I can't judge anybody, but that shit looks crazy. I agree. I don't care where you live, how many kids you have, who's deceased is crazy. I got 9 children. You got 9 children? Wow. I'm here to get entertained, not disgusted. Yeah, you know what? And I think we have to be careful with that because congratulations on your 9 kids. You look great. Well, I only see your avatar, but you know. I don't hey one crack news. I don't want to we all have our own problems and I'm really careful now not to project my problems onto you guys. I mean, who wants that? I don't think that's healthy. And I'm really on this peaceful, healthful healthy kick these days because come next week, I mean, I'll be busy, with this when the semester starts, and I'll be busy trying to balance work and family life and stuff like that. Um, if somebody doesn't tell me something about their life, I don't want to know it. I'm not trying to dig and pry into y'all life like that. Nah, hell no, that shit ain't healthy. That shit is weird. When crack news, y'all, I was gone for a while. When I got sick and I have to, yeah, so I've been really careful with that. I could tell you guys that my energy is back, and I'm not even at 100% yet. My iron level is still, I don't know why. I can't get it up above 8. It's still at like 7.8. But I function very well tomorrow or today. I'm going to do a ballet class and get my workout on. What else am I doing tomorrow? Volunteering at my kid's school, and that's about it. Thanks, love. Life is too. You take iron pills. I take prenatal pills, but I think I might add an iron pill. I was just told that you could overdose on too much iron, so I have to maybe I'll go see my primary care physician, see what they say about that. But I think I should add iron. Thanks, love. Life's too short to be worrying about others when we have our own outside of YouTube mess. That's exactly right. That's right. So somehow I have to transition to doing different kinds of commentary, y'all. Which I keep saying that, but it is challenging. But I want to take my mind off of stuff and talk about like some things. It will get that it will get there. Just add a food with iron in addition to your meds. Well, leafy greens. I know somebody told me to eat liver. I can't do the liver. I can't do the liver. So, but I can do the vegetables, and yeah, I could do the vegetables though. So I was gonna come on earlier, and I was like, damn, I really want to talk about marijuana and people getting on this app smoking and stuff like that. Like, oh, that's gonna get me cursed out. Nah, just later. When I start coming out earlier though, we'll have those kind of discussions. Right now, I was looking into Bruno Mars, right? Did you see what I posted on my community wall where 12 years ago he was talking about how he wanted to quit drugs, where he wanted to quit drugs? I was looking at another article. Let me see if I still have it up. I don't know if you guys are following what's going on with Bruno Mars, but I caught Timothy Blaine's live stream and I was like, oh, let me check in. So, anyways, last year, because I was thinking, okay, so I posted something on my wall about Bruno Mars. It's just a short clip. I think it's like 4 minutes long, 12 years ago. And my thought was this: nobody ever starts using. Oh, okay. I see you in my clouds. Nobody ever starts using drugs saying, you know what? I'm going to be an addict 20 years later. Nobody ever does that. And time just goes by. That's truly what happens. I mean, you might start off and I'm talking about heavy drug use. I ain't talk. Don't be cursing me out if you guys are doing what they call soft drugs. Okay, I'm talking about cocaine and stuff like that. So it's like last year he got popped for cocaine, and you get popped in Las Vegas. Those are some pretty heavy charges there, even though they're supposed to be like this free, town, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I was looking at that stuff, and like we're talking about a Grammy award winning singer, right? We're talking about somebody highly successful, and addiction affects all of us. So those are the things, like when I start thinking about that, it makes me feel okay, yeah, this is what you know what I mean? Like, anyway, it just felt I read about these things a lot. I I think about that because when people talk about addicts, it's like there's such a stigma, but we're talking about somebody. You can't say that all these people are just junkies, or well, you can, and they're nothing, because we lost some really great people to addiction. We did, and y'all could think of some. I mean, Michael Jackson, Prince, Amy Winehouse. Uh, okay, drawing a blank. We lost a lot. Whitney Houston, duh. Bobby Christina. I mean, and Bobby Brown. I mean, that's a legacy right there. I mean, like generation. Those are losses, and they don't even talk about his son that he lost, and his you know what I mean? Like there's just the loss, and these people are wealthy. So I think that we're thinking about addiction all wrong, and our people are suffering. All right. Bruno Mars is going through a lot. One crack news. Juanita says, please share more about your journey. I'm on mine. I'm tired of weed. I got hooked and I want it gone. I don't know how. Juanita, let me tell you something. This is the God's honest truth. I was on the phone with a friend, and we were talking about marijuana, talking about how it's not the same today, the effects of it. So your journey, whatever your journey is, I'm here. You can always reach out to me, and everything's confidential. Please share more about your journey. I'm on mine. I'm tired of weed. I got hooked and I want it gone. I don't know how. That would be a really good conversation. Let me read what you're saying. Weed is just a addictive as any other drug. It's a hallucinant drug. It's not good for our minds. Although I know it's bad, but it's not correlating with my flesh. What do you mean by correlating with your flesh? You know, that one, is a touchy subject, and I know, and it's not really that touchy. It's just no one likes to think of, oh, they're using a drug, but marijuana is a drug, and I'm not telling you guys not to use it. I know that it has medicinal purposes, but I also know that for some it has ad- adverse reactions. And Juanita, I could tell you that for me, which I'm not comparing our drug because I use something much harder, obviously. You know what? The first few days was hell. I don't know if there's any of you that have ever quit marijuana. So I didn't use marijuana, but for me, the first few days was hell. The first couple weeks, I was so down. Um, but I'm talking about methamphetamines. I could tell you that there came a point where I had to decide to just say no, no matter what I felt like, no matter what pressure. And I still have to do that almost 2 years later. I had to really, really, really change my thoughts. And what helped me a lot, believe it or not, was exercise because it took a lot to get my dopamine levels back up, my serotonin levels up. And exercise was just a big part of that because that's what it does. And that's what helped me. I feel like smoking, like 504 Girl says, nicotine is just as bad to stop. I believe that, and I know that that's a difficult one. I mean, tobacco smoke, I know I watched my dad go through that, and that was difficult. It took a lot. My spirit knows better, but my flesh is conflicting, meaning I know better, but having a hard time letting go. Oh, I see, I see. So is marijuana more like a psychological thing? Well, I don't know. I don't know that much about marijuana. So I haven't used that, but from what I've been reading and studying, I think that right, Juanita, I have to do some research on marijuana. So I know what I've been reading though. They talk about smoke and it's how damaging it is to your body. We spoke about that in class and stuff like that. Some people, and I wonder why do people, they talk about like, oh yeah, marijuana is harmless, it's from the earth, but then they want to put down mushrooms. Isn't that natural as well from the earth? So there's just a lot of things that I think about. The stigmas, the kind of drugs. I know marijuana, a lot of people consider it like there's no side effects, but I think smoking in general, I mean, that's a conversation to be had, and that's a conversation to be had. I know, I know though, Juanita, what you're going through as far as trying to quit something, and that's difficult. So I wish you all the luck in the world and some skills. You gotta actually put those tools into place as far as no matter what you're thinking, if you don't want to smoke anymore, it's really important to cut back and then eventually not use if you can. Okay. Because your mind is going to tell you, your mind is going to want what's familiar to it, especially, you know what I mean? You're used to doing it. Nicotine calms my anxiety, so I get it. Oh, wait, let me start up here. If I don't smoke, I can't control my emotions. I hate it. It has too much power over me. I just don't understand why. I just don't understand why I can't just stop. Uh, let me, hold on. I think it's not as easy as some people think it is. Let me take a. I never liked anything that would slow me down or mellow me out, so I don't know that much about it. Let me read you what I just Googled, though. I don't now. You can agree or disagree with me. Many people who smoke marijuana become addicted because they use marijuana as a way to get a good night's sleep and feel relaxed or be content. When this aid is no longer there, withdrawal symptoms can occur and cravings can be powerful. Would you agree or disagree with that? What do you think? Let me read this. Y'all could disagree with me. Okay. Marijuana use can lead to the development of problem use known as a marijuana use disorder. We knew somebody in our community that developed cannabis use disorder. They talked about like psychosis. They, had an extreme reaction, and it was really difficult for her to stop. Recent data. Wait, let me read this. Okay, marijuana use can lead to the development of problem use known as the marijuana use disorder, which takes the form of addiction in several cases. Recent data suggests that 30% of those who use marijuana may have some degree of marijuana use disorder. Okay, so that's something more severe. Marijuana use disorder becomes addiction when a person cannot stop using the drug, even though it interferes with many aspects of his or her life. Never really thought about, because I wonder if things are problem when things become a problem, it interferes with your life. But 504, it's going against my whole thought process. It's a whole battle. Wow, Juanita, have you tried edibles? I don't know if those are safer because you don't really know how much THC is in the edibles. 504. So I'm not sure what the difference would be because I think that edibles are even stronger on your body. I think that's what I think. So those are just my thoughts. Okay. No, I don't want no drugs in my system. Yeah, I don't think 504, 504 girl. I think that edibles, because with marijuana, you know how much THC and stuff you're getting. With edibles, you don't. I just want to be free of this. Wow. Bonita, you mind me asking how long have you used marijuana? And when you tell people that you want to quit, do they ever ask you why? Because so many people do it now. Hmm. Since I was 14. Okay. And you have 9 kids. Yeah, I know what you mean. Wow. She doesn't want any drugs in her system at all, so you're really having some reactions to it. That's interesting. But I mean, as far as me in my journey and trying to quit, I know that for me, I wanted to just not do anything at all. So I really just had to stop. And I did. I went through all the mind things. I went through all of the wanting to go backwards. I still sometimes have these thoughts like, God, is life supposed to be this damn hard? But I quickly put my mind on something else. I think that you have to replace it with something. That's just my opinion. Because no vaping, 504 girl, those things are not healthy. Do you guys realize that they're targeting the younger people with this vaping and stuff like that? Is still putting smoke in your body. Your body can only handle so much. We need to understand. I'm thinking of switching to a Valentine just to try and cut back. What's that mean? Switch me. And yes, people tell me it's nothing, but I know how this stuff is hurting me. I come from some abuse. I believe I picked it up from that to cope mentally. Wow, Anita. And that says a lot. There's a lot to say about the brain, trauma, and addiction. I missed something. Abuse and the way that we cope, because it changes the way that our, once it just changes the way that our brain works. I didn't say that word. I'm sorry. I totally, you know what I'm trying to say. I think we try to cope. We find ways to cope with our pain, right? I started homeschooling, and it's not all day now. It's just, and it's not all day now. It's just all night. I started homeschooling. It's not all day now. It's just all night. Oh, Juanita, I homeschooled my daughter for a while. I really enjoyed it, but yeah, you have to be in your right mind for that. That's a lot. And I'm really glad that you're even thinking about, hey, you know what, this isn't working for me, and I want to do something different. So shout out to you, the smoking, right, Juanita? I understand what you mean. It's like, when something's not working for our life and then we change it, kudos to you for even wanting to do it, for real. Um, it's tough, but you know, there are side effects to smoking anything that we put into our body. And when you're saying that you want to be free from drugs, you know what, I would love to know how you're doing with that, and I encourage you in your journey. I use an app. I use the I Am Sober app, but there's other apps too. And it's like a community that's all that we talk about. Like, the app is really awesome, but I can always suggest other stuff, and that's how I keep track of my days. Hi Ava, good morning. I was reading something the other day about nicotine. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, your body craves it when trying to quit. Okay, 504 girl, let me tell you something. That is so interesting that you said that, because with amphetamines, and you guys don't be offended. Well, some of y'all gonna get offended anyway, because you know what I'm saying. Some people try to get mad at me just for some fucking commentary and shit. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm obviously not comparing marijuana to methamphetamines, but with methamphetamines, the cravings come, and I don't understand why. After a week, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, like those 3 months. I don't know if it's how the body metabolizes or whatever it is, but those were trigger days that I had to really be aware of. Thankfully, I was working with a therapist, so I didn't know that that was also the same for nicotine. But there's something about those days, which, like, I don't celebrate. I have my milestone. My next milestone is May 21st, my 2 year. It's a sobriety. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I don't celebrate anymore because I let my guard down. I noticed. So I don't celebrate those days. What I do is acknowledge it, like, okay, but I keep track of my days mostly because of the damage that could have been done to my body. So I'm all about my checkups, going to the dentist, getting blood work and stuff like that. But yes, those are trigger days. Hey Toya, good morning. So, okay, I have to tread lightly when I'm talking about marijuana, only for this reason. I haven't, even when I was in these classes, now I'm getting ready to take another set of classes that specifically deals with drugs for, uh, I have to do 350 hours or 300, whatever. I'm about to start those studies. But with marijuana, I just don't think it's, I mean, I know that people like to talk about it like it's harmless. I don't see it like that. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe if you grow your own and you know what's in it, but I just think that it's just not the same, because how, I don't know. It's either stronger or something like that. I don't know. You guys have to tell me what you think on that. But some people have told me that I should use marijuana because then I wouldn't use something else. I completely disagree with any of that. I don't know if you guys agree with it being a gateway drug. I don't know. But I just don't think it's as harmless as people try to say it is. Weed is bad. Okay. Make sure you get some rest and meditate. Me, when crack news, I get so much rest. I'm a stickler for, I pay attention to how much I sleep because it messes up my psyche when I don't get enough rest. I can't wait to celebrate. That's right. I started to turn my life fully over to God. I will be God. You guys, it's an open chat. If you want a link, just ask for it. I don't have a subject. I just kind of wanted to check in with you guys before I went to bed. Okay. I can't wait to celebrate. I started to turn my life over to God. I'll be gone from this sector soon. Oh my God, where's my banner? Don't leave. Hold on. There you go. Don't go. You're in the right space. I'm telling you, I'm covering this stuff more now. I promise. I can't wait to celebrate. I believe this weed keeps me in the mess. I know I'll drop a lot of habits once I stop. You know what, Juanita? And it's good that you acknowledge that. Weed is bad, gateway to hell. Okay. So some of you do agree with me Could you at least agree that it's not the same like it used to be? I just don't feel that that is as pure as people make it seem when you don't know who you're getting it from, or even if you get it from the dispensary, how do you know what's really in it? All right. Once something's been synthesized, but I don't know. Let me leave that alone. Juanita, I wish you the best on your journey. Please keep us posted. And again, marijuana is not something I know as much about, but I am gonna study up on it though, Juanita, more. But trying to quit anything and doing something different is difficult. So please keep us posted, Juanita. Honestly, that's gonna be on my mind, and it's something to feel. It's something to this. I feel like the government is using it against us to water us down, put devices in our hands, so we have to rely on their machine. I agree. I agree with you. There's so many distractions, and we got this election coming up. There's a lot of things politically, and like where I live, marijuana is completely legal, even for recreational uses. But I kind of feel like everyone's walking around, not everyone, but we're walking around numb, needing something to get by. And I'm not putting people down for those reasons, but I think once it interferes with your life, then it becomes a problem. I definitely want to know everything that's going on, especially before this damn election. That's coming up. So, Juanita, I wish you the best on your journeys. Okay. There's a lot. There's a lot that's going on. I'll drop a link just in case for you guys. So, again, if I could be of any help, just let me know. And I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. I feel that now that I have a couple years under my belt, that I should be having these conversations more, but I still get extremely a little nervous, a little anxious, but I need to go in this other direction because I didn't go to school for nothing. And I just feel that that's going to be my purpose and my calling. I don't feel that I survive all the stuff to not make commentary about it. Okay. Doesn't mean I won't get angry or curse people out sometimes, but for the most part, I'm going to have to try this out. But I don't know why it makes me a little nervous. And the crazy part is I have quit before. Oh, what you talking about, 504? You talking about cigarettes for over 4 years. Something happened. I asked for a cigarette and I've been smoking ever since. Wow. You know what, 504? That's one of my fears is because I can never say, hey, you know what? I'm never going to pick up again, right? All I could do is every day. Like I wake up and say, I'm not going to use today. Because it just takes that one time and you think it's just going to be one time and then it's years later. But 504 girl, you can still quit. You got this. It causes depression if people really look down, really, and observe their habits. They'll notice it does affect you. It does. And I'm grateful you're being honest about that. There's no shame in it. And that, I mean, if I could honestly have a good discussion about marijuana, someone that knew a lot about it, someone that uses and someone that doesn't use, I think that would be a really good discussion, you guys. So y'all let me know if you guys are interested in stuff like that and give me some ideas now that I'm really trying to make more commentary about stuff like that. So let me know if we could do that. And I would rather just mediate it because I have spent so much time, even in school, focusing on harder drugs. Not that I've neglected marijuana, but marijuana is a whole study in itself. But that would be a cool panel. I think that would be a really good discussion, right? Cigarettes and stuff like that. I mean, nicotine is a drug. And I'm not using that word drug in a bad way. Oxygen is a drug, okay? But mm, it's all about taking care of ourselves and being as healthy as possible, which, you know, that's the one thing that, just, I mean, I try not to have no regrets. I just try to do better today. But I do think about like the damage that's done by using and stuff. Like, even though I took really good care of myself, I'm pretty healthy. I stay fit, but the staying up, because like with methamphetamines, you stay up, and I'm already up, and the toll it takes on you, you don't get those years back. So when you're addicted, you really do miss a lot of things in life, like the little things. And right now, I'm grateful for every damn thing. I go outside, I'm like, look at the clouds, look at the colors, look at, like, you know what I mean? My sense of taste is back and stuff like that. I'm just grateful for like little things that I don't even know, that you don't even notice. So I definitely, there's a lot of good things about being sober. There's a lot of, you have a lot of pain from the past. Sometimes you have to be able to manage that in a healthy way. But there's some good things, like things that excite me probably won't excite people that have experienced their whole life, but I missed a big chunk of that. So I get to see it as a second chance. Like, wow, I'm excited about every damn thing. And I guess you can relate that to anything that has kept you, like Juanita, she's talking about marijuana, stuff like that. There's things that you celebrate as you continue on a road to sobriety, just things that you wouldn't even believe that would make you happy. But it takes a little bit of work though. I'm not ashamed of my journey. It can help someone else. Never know who's watching, right? That's right, Juanita. Let me tell you something. One of the most rewarding things that I have ever done was decide to recover out loud. You guys see me get roasted in a lot of chats sometimes, but y'all know I got a mouth on me, okay? If I cheat, you know what I mean? So it doesn't, I knew what I was putting myself into when I decided to do this publicly, but the rewards, my emails keeps me going. You guys is the way that you encourage me. I have the best community, I swear. You guys are so supportive, but it's the parents and the kids, like the private emails that I get, which are confidential, but I could tell you the thank you. My mom watches, my daughter watches you. Keep going. We're cheering for you. You never know who's watching, and your story helps to validate somebody else, whatever that story is. Okay, whatever you've been through, it's you survived it for a reason and a purpose, and we're here for a purpose. And yeah, I know I'm kind of earthy and all that kind of stuff, so don't let me get too much on you. But I could tell you, there's something about going through something, getting through it, and sharing that story. We all have a journey, whatever it is. I embrace it, all of it, but documenting it and doing it publicly really has been a gift. And you guys, I hope that you're getting something from me, because I'm sharing to inspire you guys, let you know that people do change, we do recover, and I'm willing to talk about all of it, the trauma, how it started. um Not, I didn't realize I needed help, and so a lot of people that came into my life never should have been in my life ever. They were just there to take advantage. I had so many friends that I was under the influence, but now that I'm like, whoa, we got boundaries, back up. I'm not the one that got hurt by those boundaries. Okay. There's just a lot of things. And I said all of that to say, even though it's a difficult journey, it's so worth it when somebody says, hey, you helped me. And that makes it, that's the only way for me to pay it forward. And I hope I made sense in that, because I'm not the most articulate person, but that's the only thing that makes me feel okay. Like with all the mistakes, because people love to judge people in addiction. Okay, you can have somebody, I got people judging me that's been in prison for years, decades, and shit, looking like they lived the life that I lived. Okay, I got those people judging me, and I'm like, why? Why? What the hell was my point that I was supposed to make? Anyways, I don't know the point I was making. I have all these people judging me. They love to judge us, but we really are hard on ourselves. And the only thing, like I said, that really helps me, number one, my family is so proud of me. I have so much support. But what helps me the most is helping other people. At first, it was like I wanted you guys to be inspired by my story, right? Hey, VS, good morning. I'm just up late. I'm about to go to bed, but I just wanted to get up and share a little bit. It's good seeing you, VS. How you doing? I wanted to just show you guys that, hey, you know what? People do change. And then I feel like I needed to give you more, so that's why I went to school, so I can get that education. So I went to school, did the program, completed the program, and now I'm like, I want more schooling. I need more. I'm so hungry for it because the direction that I plan on going in is really to be able to give back, have these discussions, talk to women, talk about abuse and depression and stuff like that. Does not mean I will not fire up a live stream if I need to address something that is public. I will, but that's the direction I'm going in. All right, you guys? I'm trying. I see that same thing in you, Ava. Oh, what did I miss? Oh, let me read. That's why I love Miss Tita. Where is Tita? She shared the raw truth of her journey to sobriety and the phenomenal person she is now. I adore her. I see that same thing in you, Emu. Thank you. Yes, that's how I think. It's a blessing to overcome something, then reach back and pull the next person up. Yep, Juanita, that's how I'm doing. And now I gotta tell you guys something, honestly. I find it therapeutic to get things off my chest. And I don't hold my feelings in anymore. Like if you knew me back in 2019, 2020, I really did not, I didn't stick up for myself. I pretty much let people say whatever the hell they wanted to say. That part of me is gone. I don't think it's coming back. I've tried to hold stuff in and just ignore stuff. That ain't happening. That's been therapeutic for me. But for the most part, I feel that the person I am now that you guys are getting to know, I mean, I gotta tell you, it's just something about helping other people. And I'm doing it, don't get me wrong, I'm doing it for myself, my family. I don't want my daughter to have a mom that's addicted to drugs. I don't want my son to have to see that. So that's first and foremost. But then there's a lot of people that's struggling that you can give back to. She's taking care from mother. Oh, okay. Maybe I should send her something. Her information is listed. I gotta find the time to do that. She's an awesome person. I should send her something. Some folks are hateful because they haven't conquered whatever their situation is, wishing you were still down. Let me tell you something. God, let me take this jacket off. I feel that that's why I get into a lot of these battles. Some people do wish that I was still down so they could take advantage. But I do think that the people that's in my life now are supposed to be there. And I made some really cool friends and some really good connections, and it's healthy. So I'm grateful for that because the people, and I'm not speaking about anybody in particular, but yeah, I don't think I don't think my friendships are one-sided anymore. I feel like I can participate. I know what you guys are saying to me, and we can have good conversations. And I can't say the same a couple years ago. I didn't know what the hell people were talking about. I was just like, yep, whatever. You know what I mean? But now I can actually participate in a conversation. So that feels pretty good. Okay. I'm pretty simple. I like very simple things. I love nature. I love meeting people. I'm always going to be an introvert. But when I tell you that I was in a prison and that I feel free now and I'm working towards that more, I don't know how to explain that to you. I don't know how to explain what is it like to be addicted to something, have people want to shame you, and you're not going to shame an addict. Okay? We don't give a damn what you're talking about. You're just not going to do it. We don't care. But that prison is something that I wouldn't wish on anybody because you're stuck. You could say you're free, but you're stuck. You start out like, yeah, this is fun. This is great. Okay. I don't know why I started thinking about Bruno Mars, his addiction and stuff like that, because it's all the same. No matter what your socioeconomic background is, it's going to get you the same. You start using and it's great. And the next thing you know, you can't be gone long enough. Like you plan your day around this substance, whatever that substance is. I don't give a damn what it is. You plan your day around it so that you can use it, so you can feel okay, and then eventually you need it just to function. So to me, that's a damn prison, and that's what it was like within. Uh, Before I truly decided to get sober, that's what it was like. And I'm like, I can't live this way anymore. I can't. I can't. I can't. I was getting to the point where I didn't want to work out anymore. I didn't want to do anything, and the withdrawal was horrible. So when I do think about, if I ever thought about backsliding or going backwards, I think about that. I think about what I would have to do to get well. And at this point, it would be such a disappointment. It's not even worth it for any damn body. All right. It's not worth it at all. Oh, thank you. You're looking great. And I feel good, VS. Thank you. I'm feeling good. I was just sharing a little bit of that, you know, but I feel good. And these are the kind of conversations that I want to have. I hope that you join me on some of them, VS. These are the conversations that I want to have more. And let me tell you guys this is off subject. This is off subject, y'all. Let me just throw this in there. But you can only grow so much, like within a certain sector. I don't give a damn what sector it is. And I noticed that I have been at, I'm at about, how many subscribers do I have? I don't know how many I have, but I've got to niche down. I have got to give y'all some commentary, because whatever, you're only going to grow so much before you have to reach out of your community and start reaching other people. There's only so many people in the sector. So I have to go in a different direction, and now I'm healthier to do so. It does not mean I'm not going to cover some stuff in the sector, but you guys, we're definitely going to have actual conversations so we can grow our community. Okay. I hope y'all down with that, because that's the direction that we're going in for a lot of reasons. All right. I have to be able to continue to grow. Facts. That's my shame. Did I miss something, Juanita? That's my shame. They not around, but they aren't stupid either. I'm being a hypocrite by saying one thing and doing another. This is why I just need it gone. You talking about the addiction with your kids and stuff like that, Juanita? Shame. Okay. I don't want to get this mixed up. You got to be careful with the shame thing, because you're trying to change. I used to talk to my kids about the addiction thing. Okay, so I'm on track, Juanita. I used to talk to my kids about that. I don't think, I mean, shame is interesting. You can use it to change. You can use it. I mean, sometimes that's telling us that there's something in our life that needs to change. You just don't want to stay there. Oh, this is what I'm thinking of: shame versus guilt. That's another subject for another day, because I can't remember which one is healthy. I think it's guilt that's healthy. Y'all bear with me a little bit. I think it's guilt that's healthy, because that's going to there's healthy guilt where you feel bad about something and you don't want to do it anymore. And then there's shame. Am I making sense? So with shame, now you're judging yourself. So maybe try to be careful with that, because at least now you're like, hey, you know what? You want to change, and you could work towards that, because that can keep you down. So I'm going to just use myself, for example, because it's easier. There's a lot of things that I could be ashamed of, things that I have done that people think that I should be ashamed of. And nah, and I, no, because I'm not going to keep myself down. That's just not a healthy feeling. So I'm really careful with that. Well, there's things that I feel guilty about that I change. I'm careful with things like regret and shame and stuff like that, because that's going to probably hinder you. And then you don't want to get too depressed where you can't change things. So just try to look at what you're doing and make small changes. You guys, after the stream, let me tell you something. Y'all give me y'all feedback, because I'm trying to not give you guys some bad information, but I can tell you this: you got to be careful when you're dealing with shame and when you're dealing with guilt, because you don't want to put yourself down and be too hard on yourself, because you're dealing with something. And Right now, you need a lot of self-care and you need a lot of compassion, okay? Don't be ashamed. You are human. All of this makes up who you was, who you are, and where you're going. Be kind to yourself, Juanita. You're taking the first steps. You are. Well, since you defined it like that, it's more guilt than shame then. You know, Anita, I struggled with that stuff in the beginning. So these are things that I learned a lot in school and in therapy, but they talked a lot about guilt and shame. All right. And I had to learn the difference and I had to figure out what I was feeling so I could deal with it. And shame, I could tell you, I mean, there's just a difference. And that guilt, like I said, there's healthy guilt, right? But shame, that's not making you want to change. I mean, you feel ashamed, you feel bad, you feel bad about your actions, but you have to remember that human behavior is natural and the things that we've done is based off of, I mean, you started using for a reason. All right. You said yourself that you've been through some things as a child, you developed an addiction and stuff like that. So that's nothing to be ashamed about. That's your story. All right. The guilt, okay, you have your kids there, so you feel guilty about that and you want to change it so your kids don't follow in your footsteps. And now you're homeschooling. So these are some of the feelings that you're having and are natural. And I think it's really important to identify our feelings because then we know how to deal with it. So the guilt that you're feeling can be changed. And that guilt, if you didn't have the guilt, then you wouldn't want to change. So that's a healthy thing. So it's nothing wrong with that. Just, as long as you're recognizing it. But when you're dealing with an addiction, you're dealing with a tricky thing. So you really have to put some stuff in place. Like, okay, if I'm using, it's nice to substitute something. So when I want to use, I work out. I don't care if I'm doing some steady grinding. If I'm doing some exercises around my house, I plank it out. I love to plank it out. I go for a walk. I live in California, so the weather's pretty nice all the time. So I go out for a walk. But if you can't, just think that by moving, by doing some type of exercise, it's gonna trigger the same dopamine receptors in your brain. All right, you're gonna get that feeling of a high, but it takes more work to get that kind of a high. Just try little stuff like that. Maybe it'll help. I just don't put myself. I don't put myself down. I just hate this. Oh, Juanita, you got this. You got it. Good morning, Steady. Just be kind to yourself. It's really important. It is. And I was where you are a couple years ago, and I remember the same kind of feelings. And I could tell you that it gets easier now. I cannot tell you what is it like to kick marijuana. I don't know, but I wish I knew someone who did kick it. But I can't think of anyone who quit smoking marijuana offhand. But I will look more into that. So I don't know what that one's like, but since you could do it without going into a hospital and stuff like that, it's just taking the first steps. And keep us posted on how you're doing. That's what I'm say. But also be really kind to yourself, right? 504 girl quitting when you quit smoking. I'm sure that was difficult. So how did you quit smoking cigarettes, 504 girl? I don't know. Mm. I'm gonna tell you that it was just little things that would make me happy. I remember, some of you might remember when I would get online, my skin would peel. So, hospital for marijuana. No, I was saying that you didn't need to, Juanita. I was saying that because for just alcohol and opiates is really the only things that you need to go to the hospital to detox from. And I know some people will say heroin, but absolutely opiates and alcohol, you could die from kicking those things, right? And I know that it feels like you will die from kicking heroin, but no, you could survive it. It's just really painful and it's easier to do with medicine. Back then, I just went cold turkey. Wow, yeah, my dad quit, but he used a patch for cigarettes. I started thinking about some stuff. You know what? And I think I should have explained things a lot better as I was going along, but you really do have to let go of a lot of people, change some of your routines because, as you get sober, some people may not even like to sober you. And I just have to tell you that, God, I cannot believe how different things are this year compared to last year. I feel so much lighter. I almost said fluffier. I feel so much lighter, but I still have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do. And as I go pursue this next degree, fingers crossed, sometimes I do think like, am I putting too much on myself? But I just feel in my heart that this is the direction I'm supposed to go in. Hey Trinity, the patch doesn't do anything for me. I was smoking while using a patch. Can't you get sick like that, 504? Hmm. I just feel like this is the direction I'm supposed to go in, but some of the hardest things is dealing with feelings and dealing with all these emotions and stuff like that. Okay, I see some of y'all input on the marijuana. I got you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm not gonna read this person's name, but another person, see Juanita, you never know how somebody from the clouds is saying that they're trying to quit marijuana as well. So Juanita, do you have my Instagram is Nicole and Censor. I put it. Yeah, follow me. I would love to know. See, just by you speaking a little, there's somebody else that just sent me a message saying that they were trying to go through the same thing that you're trying to go through with the marijuana. So dang, there was somebody. Oh, we fell out. I forgot. There was somebody who. Oh wait, no. They grow marijuana. They use. Never mind. So that's my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Trinity, how'd you come up with that name? Uh-uh. But are you guys? And you don't have to answer because y'all pretty quiet tonight. But open to having more talks like this. I feel that this is the way that I need to go because yeah, I mean, it has been an interesting, let's see, I started blogging 2019. You guys have seen me go through a lot of ups and downs, but I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the commentary. I'm tired of it's just so much online right now that's just inorganic to me, right? I could appreciate channels like VS. Check out VS. I love what she's doing. She has a business, she sells things, she gives us fresh commentary, original beef sector, stuff like that. No plays ran. I can enjoy that kind of stuff, but some of this newer stuff to me, VS isn't VS, Read. I don't do old beef sector, so I'm gonna get out of that. But I'm just saying, so I do enjoy that kind of stuff. But some of this newer stuff to me just seems forced and too much, and I'm just not really interested. So I just need to focus on what I'm doing over here. When I want to hear that, the commentary, I do enjoy it when it's just. I love old beef sector stuff, right? I do. I'm kind of addicted to it, I'm not gonna lie. But um over here, I need to just focus on what I'm doing because I'm telling you, some of the other stuff just seems very forced to me with some of the newer content creators. No dig at them, nothing personal, but mm, not as interested, especially in all the, doxing and calling people's jobs and shit like that. I'm just over it. This is what you started this page for, right? So it's yes for me. It is 504. It is. So we're still good at mixture, but then we'll engage in the topic. And it's gonna take me some more work to do it, but we just need to do the shit I've been talking about for a long time. Source to journey, taking accountability is the first step. Taking accountability is the first step. Well, acknowledging that there's a problem is the first step. Taking accountability, yeah, that's something that, is a constant something to constantly work on. And I think that nobody does it better than a person in recovery. So Juanita, you're definitely on the right track if you want me and the other person. Oh, I appreciate that. Okay. All right. So I got some people that's interested in the marijuana conversation that could join us sometime. That would be on. That would be good. But Juanita, hang in there. I know that it's easier said than done, but just hang in there, okay? And I went more about my another reason why I'm like, okay, I need to go in a different direction because I started out sharing with you guys and you guys seeing the struggles, which I thought was a good idea. Now I'm not sure if some of y'all are trauma bonding with me, whatever, but I showed you guys the good and the bad, the relapses. I showed you all of it. And the fallout with other content creators, um, putting myself in bad situations thinking it was a good idea. I showed y'all a lot of shit, right? So it's been quite a journey for these couple years. Now I'm ready to have discussions about stuff like that, right? That's about me. So it's just now I truly feel, I mean, after 2 years, like the first year I was recovering. With meth, it's a year-long recovery. That's why a lot of people relapse. I'm well past that year now. And things are just different. Like my whole mindset, my whole mentality is just different. And I gotta tell you, I'm pretty proud of that. All right. I'm not, I'm still humble, but I can't help but think about how far I've come. And with that being said, I really, really, really want to be around people that want to grow, that don't feel the need to be perfect. That's okay saying, hey, you know what, I'm not feeling all right today. But in because just because you're not feeling well doesn't mean that you're not to accomplish the shit that I believe in being present. So even if I'm not feeling well, I would still go to school the same way I would still go to dance. Why? I mean, it's one thing to be depressed, it's another to be depressed and broke. And there's something about showing up. So as I was going through recovery, I'm telling you, there's times I didn't even want to get out of bed. I wanted to stay in bed, and then I realized I got to get up. I have to participate. I have to join society and do what everybody else is doing. All right. I cannot tell you how difficult that was. I cannot. But just having to live life again. And I guess I'm really looking back because May 21st is right around the corner. And I remember just trying to get to that year. Some of you might remember that. And now I'm like going past that year. Let me tell you something. When people are calling me methy, junkie, and stuff like that, they're not hurting me. I'm thinking, poor things. Like they're so stuck. They're trying so hard to put me down, trying so hard to make me look back, want me to relapse and all that kind of shit. And it just makes me stand stronger and taller. And I just want it more. And I don't mind cursing out loud because that shit just feels good inside. Not all of you, but you know what I'm saying. God tells us to be sober minded, and that also. Oh, I've been on here for an hour. I didn't mean to be on here that long. God tells us to be sober minded, and that also is very important to me as well. Being accountable is recognizing, in my opinion. Juanita, you're gonna be just fine. I still can't believe you have 9 kids. God bless you. Good morning, Z Sarah. Yes, I've been looking forward to these types of conversations. I'm so proud of a loved one who has recovered and was recovering. Everyone said, let her go. So glad I didn't. I've learned so much. Wow, Ava, that's awesome. That is so awesome. There's some people that's like, hey, this person has recovered. Like some people, I guess it's more like the Christian doctrine kind of. I've only come across one group of people that said, you know what, when you're recovered, you're healed. You're healed. I'm always gonna say I'm recovering because it's a day by day thing, and I have to fight every single day for the rest of my life. That's just the life that's the consequences of using. I will always be fighting it. My husband wants more, but it is a no. At least you have support. You got a husband. You have 9 kids. Sounds like you have a beautiful life. He wants more kids. Wow. That's rare these days. But I think that's awesome. How you doing, Z Sarah? You have a nice big family. If, somebody from the clouds, Juanita, is saying to stay strong. I'm just gonna read you the whole. You have a message from the clouds, which I don't mind. Hold on, put my jacket back on. Juanita, it's hard. I'm reading a message from the clouds for you. It's hard though, because with marijuana there are withdrawals. I must say, and Juanita, stay strong. Try to focus, but it's possible to quit. Just take it a day at a time. Don't stress. And if you have slip ups, I'm feeling the same way, wanting to be around people. I'm feeling the same way. I want to be around other people besides the sector. So they're saying to stay strong. And if you have slip ups, don't stress and just keep staying strong. Thank you for that. Oh, a lot of people like to be anonymous. A little message from the clouds, but that was a message to you. Y'all have any final thoughts for me? It was just a random stream. I wanted to come and check in and let y'all know pretty much. Hey, Summer Breeze. Good morning, Summer Breeze. You be coming in late. Just pretty much some of my I just like to be present and check in with you guys, especially because I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be like once this semester starts. And I'm waiting for the semester to start at this college, and then I'll be working on a certificate program, another program at the same time, so I can knock these things out, and then I'll be working and stuff like that. So it just feels different to come online and with all that stuff going on. So I'm like, no, I want to have actual discussions with you guys now, right? I don't want to just come out here and scream and be all crazy. We could do that too, but that's pretty much where I am right now. So let me see my final thoughts. So I was speaking earlier about being doxxed and stuff like that. Can't focus on that. I got too much going on in my life, and I'm going forward, not backwards. Nothing I can do about it. That's that person that doxed me under a troll name, which I know who the fuck she is, right? Stay positive. I know who the fuck she is. I can't worry about that shit. I have to go forward. Nobody likes to be lied on. They still lying on MU, trying to hold me to a past that I'm not gonna stay. I'm still gonna go forward no matter what. I just think it's pathetic that you got people that want to lie and hold you back. I was talking to you guys about approaching my 2 years in sobriety, which I'm excited about because I never thought that I would make it past 1 year, and now I'm approaching my 2nd year. So I've had a lot of support, but I have my family supporting me. I have an awesome community. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you'll know that I'm sharing, hoping to inspire others as well. All right, you should celebrate. Oh, thank you. I should celebrate and come live. Well, it's May 21st. I'm not sure what I want to do. I would love to do a collab. I think, where will I be in school? Let's see. Let's see, this is March. It's 2 months. I would like to do a collaboration and maybe go live. I'm not sure, Juanita, what I want to do, but I should do something, right? It should be a fun stream. We'll think about it. All right. We'll think about something fun. And yeah. So I use myself as an example, but I'm hoping that others will be like, if in case they're going through something, and it's not just the addiction, it's overcoming a lot of stuff, overcoming, some of the things that I went through growing up. I love my family, but we go through stuff, and you guys know I suffer from anxiety. So you still have to get stuff done, and depression. I work on those things. So we talk about stuff like that. And just going back to school and trying to go in a different direction to grow my community and have more conversations that I hope you guys would join me on, so we can have panels, because it's not just my point of view. I would love to know what you guys think as well. So send me an email. Let me know if you have, or comment under any of my videos. That's the fastest way to really get a hold of me, is to message me either on Instagram, or you can email me, but Instagram, or leaving a comment under my videos, because I do go through my comments. All right. And if I don't respond to you, I just didn't see it. Thank you, Ava, and congratulations to your loved one. I'm glad you didn't give up. And you know what? We do not give enough credit to those that love an addict. They get overlooked, and you guys are the ones that's feeling the pain because we're numb. So I really appreciate you. Thank you for signing in there for your friend. All right. Peace and love. Proud of you, girl. Thank you. Good night. All right. So I just wanted to share with you guys a little. I'm doing fine. I'm just gonna keep trying to just go forward. All right. Grab this education. And to Juanita, I wish you the best of luck. To my friend in the clouds, I wish you the best of luck on your journey. It really is a journey, and even though it's going to be tough, documenting it, sharing it is really a powerful thing. I kid you not, it sounds corny as hell, but recovering out loud, it really does help somebody else and gives you purpose. I mean, you have 9 kids and a husband, you have purpose, but this is something else that's really special, all right? And throughout all the pain, all the ups and downs, all of the getting cursed out and put down, and you're nothing, you're trash, blah, blah, blah. You got to try to see past that. So I encourage myself. Like, there's sometimes I'm like, you know what? I got to leave this house at 6:30. I celebrate that. Like, I got out the house on time. All right. To make this hour drive. Y'all know I'm always driving. I celebrate like little stuff. How you do it, Trinity? So those kind of things, just stuff, right? And I'm a hopeless romantic. I want love and all that shit. But that's another story for another day. Right now, I'm just focusing on MU and my babies. We went to the park. My son, I took my son to the park, right? He's riding his scooter and I'm running. And I'm like, God, I usually don't run. I power walk because I worry about my legs getting too big, because I'm a dancer, I do ballroom, and running makes our calves kind of big. So usually dancers don't run a lot, but I was running today, and I was just so happy that my chest wasn't hurting because I was extremely anemic. So it just felt good to get out there and move and do stuff and just enjoy life, unplug, get offline, enjoy life. And then, hey, the internet's not going anywhere. All right. I love you guys. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Feel free to like, comment, and share. And I will see you guys on the YouTube streets. Juanita, keep going. Follow 4 Girl. Thank you for your input. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay. I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good night. I'm going to get some shut eye. Bye-bye.